the start. We can see our men's second varsity eights sitting just about ready to go. We have in lane 1 Rutgers, lane 2 is Drexel, lane 3 is LaSalle, lane 4 Temple, 5 St. Joe's, and in lane 6 is Jacksonville. And they're off here in the men's second varsity 8, competing for the Bayer Trophy.
That's right, and in the second varsity 8 final here, 6 lanes across, always very, very exciting at the start. We call it organized chaos. There's a lot of sound, there's a lot of sights, there's a lot going on here, so it's really important for these crews to stay very internal and for those coxswains to say, look, nothing matters right now but the sound of my voice and getting through those fractions, getting the boat up to speed here, because as I've said before, I'll say it again, it is like getting a freight train up and moving from a dead stop. So we actually start not at full slide here, as you've so eloquently put it for us earlier in the day here. We actually do a few fractions here at about 80% pressure or so. It doesn't even need to be at full pressure because we're not trying to rip water. We're trying to move the boat. So we're trying to keep those oars anchored in the water here, take a few fraction strokes just to get those boats up to speed, which is what we are seeing here with it looks like all boats still connected and through the breakage zone.
Yeah, so yesterday in the time trial, LaSalle finished with the fastest time and then won their semifinal. However, the second semifinal ran at a much faster pace than the first, with Temple in lane 4 here actually winning semifinal number 2 by a margin of just about a second on top of Drexel. But as we see this race begin to play out, it is in fact Drexel out of lane 2 through 500 meters with the edge. But again, these semifinals yesterday in this second varsity 8 were very exciting. And you can see there, it's really Drexel by only about 3 seats over Temple. Temple maybe 2 seats over LaSalle. LaSalle with maybe 4 or 5 seats on top of St. Joe's. So the 4 Big 5 schools competing, or the Big 6 schools, I should say. Drexel not technically a Big 5 school, although they did play in the Big 5 games this year. And always much, very competitive here at the Vail Regatta. You can see now Drexel with about 7 or so seats on top of LaSalle. LaSalle starting to move back through Temple there. Temple just trying to hang on, and St. Joe's hanging out at the back there. These 4 boats all in contention for the medal stand.
Yeah, exactly. You said it here too. Again, this is so, so cool to see all of these 8s across. This just makes a race so incredibly exciting, not only to watch, but to actually participate in. So a lot of these crews here, again, as a second varsity 8, are going to be pressured a little bit by their own teams to try to grab medals in this race here. The Bayer Trophy, again, this does sort of become a pride race in a way as well between their own teams. So if we have a varsity 8 and a third V that is also vying for one of those medals, it's really important for all the varsity 8s. I can guarantee you all of these varsity 8s are going to try to do a clean sweep. Now, that doesn't always happen, but we will see. 1,000
meters now into this race. Drexel obviously trying to go for a clean sweep of the men's 8s races, the 3V, the 2V, and the 1V. They've got the 3V down. Now onto the 2V. They are winning here, but Temple and LaSalle still super close to Drexel as we have just about 800 meters left to go now. It looks like Temple now has drawn back even with the Dragons. LaSalle just a few seats down on either of them in between. So St. Joe's dropping back into a solid 4th place as Rutgers and Jacksonville fight it out for 5th and 6th. We turn our focus back to these first 3 boats here. It looks like Temple now. Temple leaking out in front. Drexel just trying to hang on as LaSalle starts to make a move. LaSalle now drawing back even with Drexel. Temple with about a few seats on the 2 schools to their port side. Looks like we're passing through the track field over there on the right-hand side, opening up into the spectators area, approaching 500 meters left to go now. We'll see the orange buoys in just a moment. And here they are approaching, and you can see still 3 crews all the way across There's the 500-meter mark. We'll see who goes first.
I can feel the tension from here. I am hoping if you are out there on the shoreline, you come down to see the finish of this race right away. Do not miss the finish of this race because we have Temple, LaSalle, and Drexel all vying for that spot. Keep an eye on Drexel here, challenging Temple on the lane closest to us. Again, this view is very deceiving, so we still want to give the lead to Temple up there, but get down to the shoreline and cheer for these three crews because this is going to be a heck of a race. This is a nail biter, Joe.
Temple with a great move there in between the 500s, right at the end of that third 500, heading into this final 500, looks to have taken a pretty solid lead, and you can see it there. Temple with about 4 seats on top of Drexel. Drexel now heading into the 250 meters, and you can see there's a bit of a diagonal on this course. So Temple, with the advantage in the outside lane there, is going to get into that final 250 meters first. Drexel with a lot of work to do here, but they've got some speed. LaSalle just starting to fall off. There goes Drexel's stroke rate. Can they catch Temple?
Temple went early. I think this coxswain made a really smart move here. They started sprinting early. They are already at a 42, and you can tell they are sitting up. Their blades are going in. They're sharp. They're at a 42. They're emptying the tank at this point. So that coxswain made a smart move going early and securing their spot for the gold medal in the second varsity men's 8 grand final. Again, it's not over until it's over, but here we go.
With almost open water, Temple takes the 2V. Drexel, the silver. LaSalle, the bronze.
That was a smart race by Temple. Very well raced there. 5:59, phenomenal time there for a second V8. Again, really great conditions out here, but what a race again with Drexel. Barely 2 seconds behind there, very roughly. I'm no mathematician. Again, make sure you go to regattatiming.com, followed closely by LaSalle and St. Joseph's. Jacksonville, and here we go with Rutgers rounding out the field.